I was a 71 Mike, which is consistent. And I had a special identifier. I went back to school to become a funds manager. So what I actually did for the majority of my 8 years was I managed a consolidated chaplains fund. So, and for a total of 8 years, I managed the fund for 5 years. And I spent 7 of my 8 years were in Kaiserslautern, Germany. Actually, I didn't even think about it until what, probably about 9 months ago. And so I never really gave it any thought at all. And then, as I got older, started having foot problems, knee problems, and all these other issues. And I still wasn't going to seek disability. And finally, like I said, about 9, 10 months ago, a friend of mine who is a retired military veteran, retired veteran of 24 years, he said, "Look, Emmett," said, "you're having these foot problems and knee problems." He says, "Were you seeing doctors for that when you were in the Army?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You need to go to VA." He said, "You might, they might be able to get you some compensation for that." And I told him about my, seeing these other people. He says, "Look," he says, "you've got the injuries, let them make that determination. You're making a decision that you probably shouldn't be making." So he's a good friend of mine that I respected. And I said, "Okay, and he gave me Trajector. He said he had gone through Trajector to get his disability benefits. And I'll be honest, when he gave me the number, I was kind of rolling my eyes in the back, just like, okay, whatever, I'll call. But like I said, I respect him. He's a good friend. So I actually did call. And as they say, the rest is history. Answered the questions that Trajector had. And at this point, I'm 80%, and actually, I'm making a new claim so I'm actually not finished. So yeah, so it's been a great experience. The initial award, I guess, was 70%, and I'll be honest, I told my wife and Jeff, the friend that recommended it, a couple other people. I said, "Hey, if I get $5, that I'd be happy with that. That's $5 I didn't have before." And I meant that. I really didn't expect to get much of anything. And so when I got the award letter, whatever, and it said 70%, I about passed out. But I mean, it's truly life changing. And my goodness, retirement isn't looking like a lot of fun right now. Financially anyway. And so when this happened, it was life changing because it pretty much answered that question about retirement for me. And literally brought tears to my eyes when I got that award. And then a couple months later, another 10% came through. So there's another 10% added to that. So now I'm at 80%. And honestly, I don't think it's an overstatement to say it's life changing, because I really did not know what I was going to do financially, and after retirement or for retirement, and this pretty much answered that question for me. I mean, it was simple. Like I said, I called Trajector, the number that my friend gave to me. I called, and like I said, it was all pretty painless and pretty easy. And and I would get the letters in the mail from the VA saying, what the next steps are and so forth. I say it's just a matter of following simple instructions, and here I am. It take a lot of trust, and like I said, I went in with the attitude of, I really, wasn't expecting much, and going in with that attitude, I think was also helpful. I've seen other people going through VA type stuff and demanding this and being angry and all the rest of that, and I just didn't have that attitude. I just said, "Hey, if something happens, that's great, and if it doesn't, I'm fine. I've lived a good life." So I mean, like I said, it was really simple. It's a matter of a couple of phone calls, reading the emails and mail that would come in, going to a couple of appointments, and considering that I wasn't expecting anything, I felt it was, considering what the benefit it's going to provide for the rest of my life. That was a small price to pay as far as I'm concerned. Say the same thing that my friend Jeff said to me, that if you had medical issues while you were in the military, and you've continued to have some since being out, don't make that decision for you. Let the doctors make that decision, and give Trajector a call and see what happens. And don't take yourself out of receiving benefits because you see someone else's bad behavior, or because you just don't think it's going to happen for you. Just make the simple phone call and answer the questions, and let the VA and Trajector determine what the outcome is. No, I mean, Trajector's been great. So it's Trajector's been wonderful.